Alright everyone, 10 seasons on from where it all began, we are at it again. Hello everyone and welcome to the first round of the NEF1 Season 10 Championship, taking place at where it all began around Bahrain. 5 years ago, almost to the day now, that we launched this league, and now we're heading into our 10th season and we're starting off at the same place where we started so long ago. As Dominic pointing out, about 153 test streams later, and we have arrived to the first round at Bahrain. It's going to be a fun one, this. We've had a long practice session around here for everyone to show as much as they want to, but not a lot of things have happened before that, as Recon has retired from this session. You would imagine technical difficulties. Matty now heading out on his outlap. First out on track for the official start of this season then. So Matty currently sitting in 18th, one of the favorites so far, looking at everyone's pace. And Reina, newcomer, what is she going to be able to do in that Sauber? There's been a bit of a curse through so many seasons now. Is that team finally going to be lifted alongside Luna in the number 13 Sauber? Is that an unlucky charm number? Is it a lucky charm number? We'll wait and see. Let's hope that that team propels itself further up the order. Kit had a difficult second day in practice. Let's hope he has a better time round here tonight. We also have a couple of cars heading out on track now. I believe that is one of the Williamses. Everyone's piling out of pit lane now. We'll have plenty to choose from, but Matty Adam is the one first in line for a lap now in this season 10. 16 minutes remaining of qualifying, and it's 1:18-minute session to decide the entire grid. That is the difference from when we first started out doing full quali sessions. Now it's down to shorts. Just adds on a bit of drama, as Matty is looking absolutely brilliant there in his Alpine. It's a bright, colourful car that I'm sure we're going to see a lot of turn this season. Both himself and his teammate look very much on the pace here on F1 25. Here we go then, one onboard lap with Matty to begin this game cycle. Let's go, take us for a lap, Matty. Adam 19, we'll see what you're able to pull out of that Renault powered car that usually is quite slow. Let's hope it's a bit quicker in your hands. Braking for turn 1, little lockup on the front. Not going to be too important in the first run, but won't want to do that too many times. It'll shred your tyres. Pick up the slipstream on the guy further ahead. He'll have to be aware that there's someone coming up, pulls to the inside, lets him go. That was his teammate. Very nicely coordinated indeed. Recon's joined the lobby back, but for some reason he has been DNF'd. Matty then through that second sector where he is ever so quick. That's where I lost all my time on him in the practice sessions previously, but he's locking up yet again. So it's a difficult time. It's a difficult start to the session for Matty. Lockups here and there, and it's another front left lockup heading into turn 9 and 10. Trickiest braking zone maybe on the calendar as you head down towards turn 11, turn 12, maybe 5th corner, probably 4th corner, heading through this place. Early on the throttle, let the car go wide on the exit and bring it back down to the inside for the next corner. Turn 12, you can now touch that curb. Turn 13, just get as wide as possible you can on the exit. Just have it touch the white line on that exit curb. It's beautifully done by Matty. One corner to go, open it up as much as possible. Kimi Antonelli levels off track extension and on to the start finish straight. It's not been a perfect lap this for Matty. What is it going to be doing on the score sheets? 29.2, still a very competitive lap indeed, as Luna says a 29.8, and then Reina goes even faster, 28.690. So that is a very, very good lap. What is Wigan going to be able to do as he's coming up to the end of his lap? We also have one of the Racing Bulls come up to either start or finish lap. That's probably finish lap. We have the second Alpine, I believe, coming up now. That should be Samo to start a flying lap, if I'm not mistaken. And here we go. Wigan will be next across the line, followed by the Aston Martin of Holman to start lap. Then we have both the Ferraris coming across. We'll keep an eye on that. Wigan 71 then going to come across for a 29.6. It's a very, very good lap indeed. Puts him up to third place for the time being. Squidge is going to be rounding final corner in just about any second. There we go. Coming straight onto the power. What is it going to be for the Ferrari driver? Back in Ferrari for this season. 28.325 to start off his season. That's not too shabby. And as for his teammate, 29.3. Tess goes even quicker than that with a 28.2, and everything's kicking off now. Ondracek rounding the final corner in his new Racing Bull, the one-time NEF1 champion. Where's he going to place himself? Fourth on the grid, 28.785. Samobamo now heading around those final couple of corners. We have a BT run in the very final corner along with Darren's style. Darren goes into P10, not quite good enough. BT jumps into 6th place. That's a good lap from Mr. BT, and does a massive glitch for whatever reason from Hybrid, just spectating him. Here we go then. Samo picking up a little bit of slipstream from his teammate, heading into the final corner. Let's hope that doesn't unsettle the car, and it doesn't. Beautiful exit for Samo Bamo, who is going to come across the line for a 28.660. Good enough for P3. Faster of the Alpine boys, but there's time left in Mattis' lap. That is one thing that we can say for certain. Now then, Holman, the first competitive lap we're going to see from him in NEF1. He's been looking relatively pacey in practice, but what is it going to come to when the chips are down and competitive lap times start getting posted? It's going to be nothing but a 29.2 for Holman. Good enough for P7 at for the time being. As for Djokovic, where is he? He is currently going through Sector 1, just heading into Sector 2 now. All white helmet for Djokovic. That's a bit of a boring design. It works quite well with the Williams, to be fair. Heading through Sector 2 then. Such a tricky section to get right. A lot of tricky braking zones. As Matt is pointing out that he still had decent turning for the lap that he had a lot of lockups on, which feels a bit weird, but he'll know that better than us. We'll see how much time is in that lap then, or if that's just further sandbagging. He's a second off the pace at the moment, so he needs to find a lot. Djokovic then coming around the second split at 106.1. There's an Alpine coming up behind him. That's Samo Bamo on an in lap. As here we go then, Djokovic rounds the final corner. What is going to be for this lap? You would imagine probably around a 28.5 potentially, just guessing. We'll see how accurate that is, and I underestimated Djokovic. Welcome back to front contention, a man who was so devastatingly close to the win here just a couple of weeks ago on F1 24. Now sets provisional P1 by 0.2 of a second. Djokovic is here, and oh my god, that is good to see. Noah Van for his first lap on this new game. What's it going to be? 28.546, good enough for P4, but there is a lot of fighting to get into that top 10, let me tell you. But it's a relatively big field spread at the moment of just less than 3 seconds. We're still awaiting laps from both the Red Bulls as well. Holman should be coming into the pit lane unless he started another run, which I believe he has, even if that's a set of 1 tyre, so I don't see how he's going to be able to improve on it. And he is actually just slightly improving through Sector 1, but it's not enough to warrant staying out on another run, if that is the same set of tires, which I believe it is, isn't it? Yes, it is. Why has Holman elected to do 2 laps on 1 set of tire? No, at the moment ahead of Ondracek, Samo ahead of Matty, Squidge, however, quite convincingly ahead of Jamer and the teammate. Battles and Wigan convincingly ahead of his teammate Wigan71 as well. Djokovic with the fastest lap overall here as Holman comes around the Sector 2 split. He is actually improving, but is it worth actually staying out on? He'll go past Matty with this lap that we're expecting to see make a big step forward regardless. So Holman, I don't know if he's going to complete this lap or come into the pit lane. Wait and see. Meanwhile, there's other fast laps going on, as Holman comes across then to just improve ahead of Matty, but not a massive improvement. That lap should see him down a little bit, not too long, as Luna's out there on a quick lap as well. She's improving by 0.2 of a second in the first sector. Currently sitting in P14, teammate up in a P7. They're separated by about a second, slightly over. So then DRS shuts for Luna coming on to the opening of the 3rd sector. I'm going to say it's the opening of the 3rd sector. As there we go, 3 temps up for Luna. Needs to get a good exit coming out of the final couple of corners now in order to make that about the half a second needed to make some big gains and maybe move herself into the top 10. We'll wait and see. One final corner to go here for Vat Sauber. See if she can get ahead of Wigan, ahead of Jamar, ahead of BT and Wilco. Matty's also on his second run. We'll keep an eye on that. Luna, 13th fastest. Not quite the improvement she would have been hoping for, but getting progressively up there. A BT currently sitting just outside the top 10, which used to be a benefit in the old F1 games. It's not anymore, with the Q2 tire rule disappearing and also Q2 disappearing in this league. Matty Adam 98 then coming around the final sector now then. 1/10 up, so it's not a massive improvement at the moment for Matty, who needs to hurry it up if he wants to battle with the front guys here. It's over a second down. Here we go then, Matty comes across line for P8 at 29 flat, but that is still a second slower than Djokovic, who's leading this session, and a good 4/10 slower than Sam Obama, his teammate, and Matty needs to pick the pace up a little bit here. A fastest, not where he's going to be praying for, but looking at the people he's got ahead of him is nothing to be ashamed of either. Squidge has been able to jump into P2, but just shy of Djokovic on pole position at the moment. Tess, is he going to snatch pole position away? Yes, he is, by a substantial amount as well. Welcome to Season 10, as we say to our reigning, defending NEF1 champion, 27.760. And that's a lap and a half. The beat is now been able to come across for a 3.95 worth an improvement, at 28.941. Wigan's been able to improve almost 6/10 of a second as well to jump into the top 10. As we have Kit then on a flying lap, it's a 108.5 through the second sector. Let's see where he's going to be able to place that Red Bull's teammate. Hybrid's up to 16th, so 130.882 to beat in the teammate battle. Darren is 17th. Recon retired at the beginning of the session with 5.5 minutes to go, so it's gone by quickly this, as Kit jumps into 17th, just out of Darren, just behind Hybrid. And Jamar jumps up the order a little bit into P8 at 28.874, leaves him a couple of times behind Samo, but ahead of previous teammate BT and Matty Adam 98 as well. So stuff is going on at the moment. Djokovic remaining in the pit lane for the time being. Mr. Wilco, I believe this might be a quick lap from the look of things. So here we go then. Mr. Wilco to improve up to P12. So improves by 2.5 of a second, and that is past Holman, who's now on an outlap of fresh tyres with 4:35 to go. So it's a bit of a weird session run this from Holman, but if he can make it work, then all the credit to him. Ideally, you reckon most people are going to want to wait to I was just responding to a couple of messages in the Discord there. So then, it's a bit of a weird way to run the session for Holman this, but if he can bring good qualifying position out of this, then I'll be very, very impressed. Ideally, you'd see most people come out at the very, very end of the session, as I just said, instead of with about 4 minutes to go, which won't leave him with enough time to make 2 runs here at the end. Maybe just opting for that clear track, which can be a strategy in itself as well, especially around the tighter circuits where it is a bit harder to let people go, and this could actually be defined as one of those, especially in that second sector. In the first and third, you don't really have any excuses, just straights. Holman here improving by 0.3 of a second going through the second sector. That'll see him up to out where Jamar is, in the middle of Jamar and Samo. But there's still one corner to go, and this is the place we can make up a lot of time with those fresh tires. And yeah, that's a good exit from Holman. Let's see where he plays himself on the board. It's going to be a 28.29 flat, actually. So lost a lot of time in that third sector. A lot of time lost in that third sector. Doesn't improve by much. Stays behind Wigan and Matty Adam, as Noah's out there hunting for time now, and he's coming up to the sector 2 split. 0.3 of a second up. So it's a good lap this from Noah. Needs to improve quite a lot in order to make it up to Squidge and Djokovic. Djokovic, mind you, who's out on track at the moment. Tess is in the pit lane, but he's coming out in a moment, I'm sure, as Noah just extends his gap over his teammate, but it doesn't quite get near enough to Squidge, and that is probably the best Noah's going to be able to do in this session. We'll see even for Djokovic, just improving a tad bit through the first sector, but there's a lot of gains to be found here in this second sector. 27.760, that's a massive lap from Tess. Oh, slight lock up maybe on the inside there for Djokovic. Needs to get a good exit, a bit of wheel spin. You could just hear that in the background. Zach can compromise his run coming down to turn 11 and 12 potentially. A lot of inside curb, a lot of outside curb as well, but that is the fastest way to run this track now, but just using those curves. Didn't used to be, mind you. He is not improving through the second sector, and it's not going to be a pole position, I imagine, for Djokovic, unless he can employ some absolute cheats going through the last corner. But that'd be very, very sus indeed. A very wide line. Now it's all about protecting the P2, but it gets a bit loose on entry, or on exit, sorry. And that should be qualifying over for Djokovic. Doesn't improve. Now Squidge knows what he's got to do. He's got to just improve a little bit, and he'll slip ahead of the Williams. But he's going for Tess. He is 100% aiming his car towards that Mercedes. Let's see, he is improving through the first sector, but not by enough. Needs to improve by significantly more through the second sector now. Locks the inside front. Turns into the corner, but I don't think it cost him too much. Now, trickiest braking zone on the circuit, maybe on the calendar. Locking up again, but it doesn't seem to cost him. What it does cost is tyre performance, and that is something that the tyres are going to be screaming out in pain for during the last couple of turns, the last couple of meters. So there's a car park going through the last corner at the moment, and so many people are going to have their runs interrupted. We'll keep an eye on that. 9 seconds to go now, but everyone has gone across the line by the look of things. One person who hasn't Styles on an outlap, he's not going to be allowed to start his. Here we go then. Squidge rounds the final corner just now then. What is he going to be able to do? I missed the sector 2 split, which just gives us a bit more intrigue, because here comes Squidge. Is he going to be good enough for pole position around his Bahrain circuit? Yes, he is at the moment, but Tess, now with the pressure on him, needs to just improve a bit further, and right now he is improving, but he's got the Alpine ahead of him. That is either Matty or Samo. They're running in the train, and this could very much halt the Tessa's progress in this qualifying session. It might hand pole position to Squidge. There's a lot of smoke coming up on Tess. He's running on PC, isn't he? He would have been able to disable that, and I think he has. But for us viewers, it's really, really hindering. Now we're coming up to the next sector split. What is Matty going to be able to do coming through this sector split? He is the first of the Alpine. Samo's on a fast run. He's not obliged to let anyone go. Matty's improving, not by enough. Samo's improving as well. He's not obliged to let Tess go here, and that's going to hinder his lap, but he is still improving somehow. Is Tess. Samo now coming through the final corner. What kind of run is Tess going to get out of the last corner? Is not going to be a good one. It should not be enough. Yeah, he's backed out. Matty comes through for P9. Samo P7. Wigan will not improve any further. Jamar, what is he going to be able to do? Nothing more on this lap. Beat in 12th, Holman in 13th, Luna in 14th, Iwat in 15th, 16th is Hybrid, 17th is Darren, 18th is Kit, Recon without a time. Squidge 2017 timed his run to perfection and takes the first pole position of the season, ahead of Tess and ahead of Djokovic. Both the Racing Bulls in 4th and 5th, and Reina in 6th. Sam Obama qualifying his teammate for the first time this season. P7 for him. Wigan split into two, Alpines in 8th. Matty, disappointing qualifying session for him, but he usually comes alive during the races. Was the trend last game at least. Mr. Wilco, his former teammate, challenging him for 10th. Jamar just outside the top 10 in 11th by a couple of hundredths of a second, and it is close between a lot of these cars. We'll have a look at the gap to leader, and there you can see how close it actually is. But we say congratulations to Squidge for the first pole position of the season. So then, that means as well, we're just going to be going to a quick break before we get this race started. So no one ready up on the grid, standard league racing procedure. If you do, you will receive a qualifying ban for the next race out. Would not be advised one bit. I'll make it incredibly complicated for you nonetheless. So we'll just be going to a quick break before we get the Grand Prix started. Your man Squidge is on pole, Tess in P2 with Djokovic in third. Isn't that a lovely combination we've never seen before? Undercheck in 4th, Noah in 5th. This is going to be an interesting race start and a very, very interesting tyre strategy here as well. Don't go anywhere, all the action is coming up here in NEF1 for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Hello everyone, we are back for the Bahrain Grand Prix here in NEF1, where Squidge has qualified on pole position just ahead of Tess, who got caught up on his second run. That cost him a lot of time and definitely a pole position as well. But it is as it is. Got caught up behind the two Alpines and that interrupted his second run. Squidge is on pole, Tess in P2 and Djokovic is third for what is going to be a very, very interesting race here around Bahrain. 29 laps to decide the winner and the leader of the championship to begin this season. As for the strategies, and you love to see this. It's so split between hards, mediums and softs, and hopefully this means that this DRS train racing is going. Without promising too much, I think on this game it just might. But we'll wait and see. Squidge then takes the formation lap from Tess in second place and Djokovic in third. He is followed by the first of the two Racing Bulls, Ondrejek, Noah just behind him. With Reina, very, very good qualifying debut in sixth. Sam Obama, a little bit of a disappointing qualifying in general for both the Alpine boys, you would reckon. 7th and 9th was all they were able to do. Would have liked one car at least inside the top 5. Wigan in 8th, just behind his teammate there, so it's a good qualifying for the Williams boys as well. Wilco in 10th, that's a very, very big improvement from his previous season pace-wise. Results-wise, we'll wait and see. Jamar sitting there in 11th. His teammate up in the first. Is that pressure going to pile on? We'll wait and see. But it usually has a tendency to move up during the races, does as well by Jamar. A beat in 12th, followed by Holman in 13th, Luna in 14th, Iwat in 15th, Hybrid 16th. Darren Stahl mistimed his last run. He starts 17th place. Kit, W41, never really got going in qualifying. Has had a tough time around this place in the past. I'm thinking back to the last practice session we did. He's starting in 18th from Recon. Bit of an unknown at the moment. 19th place. But then Squidge is getting ready to get this race underway. Is going to be very, very interesting. The first race of season 10, and we've come a long way since we started out. The first race around this place back in season 1, which is available for you viewing, won by yours truly. A bit of a catastrophe. Let's hope we have a better, cleaner one here today without massive pile-ups on lap 1 that we had just a couple of corners into the race that time around. Let's go racing, boys. Let's have a good one. And that is an aggressive tilt towards the inside for Squidge, who's going to be looking to take the inside line straight off the start, covering Tess off. Here we go then. We're ready for the race to get underway. We have 5 red lights. And it's lights on, away we go, and it's a good start from Squidge. It's a good start from Djokovic as well. Squidge moves over to the inside, covers Tess off. Tess trying to look for an opportunity to get through. Djokovic on the outside, locks the front wheel. The two make slight contact, but Djokovic on the bit of tyre is going to be able to sweep through into turn 1, and that's a brilliant move from the three-time NEF1 champion. Takes the lead of the NEF1 Bahrain Grand Prix. Squidge has to surrender to P2, and now Tess is coming at him as well. Squidge starting on a hard ties is not going to be beneficial. Last off, Iwat's up 7 positions on the start. No massive lose as of yet. Wilco down 5, however. But that's a good start from Iwat. It's a brilliant start for Djokovic, who takes the lead of the race away on lap 1. And he has always been fast starting, but at a place like this it gets ever so crucial. Squidge now, all he's got to do for a couple of laps is hold on to these tyres. There's a lot of smoke heading into the braking zone of turn 9, but as a predicted 2-stop strategy around this place for everyone, we'll see what it is, but a 1-stop is not a viable strategy around here, I can promise you that. Ondrejek and Noah holding station on the start. It's a good move that as well. Matty falling down the start, 3 places. Recon up 7th now, past Matty in sector 2. That would have been a neat little move to see. I'm sad we didn't catch a glimpse of it. Recon then up 7 places on the start. So is Iowa. So them capitalizing on a bit of carnage further back. Now is Djokovic going to be able to pull away from Tess? He's massively pulling away on that straight. And Tess can do absolutely nothing to keep with him without DRS, that is. And now we're having Undercheck pull a little cheeky one down the inside of Squidge there towards the apex of turn 1. Squidge just hasn't covered, but Undercheck is going to come back at him, maybe with the DRS towards turn 3. Tries the outside. That shouldn't work, but he's on the better tyre. But he's going to get shown Vedor by the Ferrari. Won't let that one slide and remains P3. Undercheck is going to have to go again. Yellow flags. That is one of the Alpines. That is Samo Bamo, who's had an off. And now has rejoined the circuit. Darren Stahl and Matty has had a problem on the first lap. And starts out with a massive lockup. Matty Adam and Alpine. Samo Bamo now with a very, very tough start to this race and the season in general. As here we go, Van Tess is starting to near the back of Djokovic. That Williams, are we going to see him as a regular front contender this season? I hope we do. As for Tess, he can now just sit behind a little bit, but on this game it does punish the tyres a lot more than it has previously. Squidge doing everything he can to just hang on to this battle, knowing that he'll have the tyre advantage in about 5-6 laps time. Those mediums should start showing a bit of wear. You can just see him losing a little bit, especially under braking. Here we go then, Tess versus Djokovic. See how effective the DRS is around here, and the DRS as well. And Reina, first lap of the Grand Prix so far. Tess thinks about it towards the inside, locks his front under braking, doesn't really go for it as Djokovic pulls away a little bit on exit. Now is Tess going to have another go here? Wait and see. Djokovic moves to the inside to defend, shows him the inside again, and that might be making it a bit too easy. Djokovic locks the front, but he remains in P1. Tess has a little go, but nothing decisive as of yet. Remains in P2. Squidge defending away from Undercheck, but he's not really put under massive pressure right now. Looking down further, Luna's up 4 positions now, trying to have a go at J-Man a little bit, but needs to catch by a couple of more times further before he can start thinking about a move. So I believe Samuel's just made his way past Kit as well. Matty's running far behind now, but maybe with a good opportunity to undercut. But you would imagine then he had a front wing knocked off on that opening lap. That's the early that's the early pit stop reason. And Reina's going along very, very nicely in P6 there as well. Iwat's up 8 places on the start. That's a hell of a launch from Iwat's, who's been with us ever since this opening race 10 seasons ago. A couple of people have, Wigan including. Obviously Matty as well. As here we go, and is Tess going to have another go at Djokovic, but that's a car that doesn't really have the straight line speed to overtake by the look of things. Djokovic likes a car that's quite rapid in a straight line. Tess at the moment just struggling in that department. You can see Djokovic just pulling away a little bit just before that DRS is deployed. Now then, Tess is going to have to deplete a lot of battery if he wants to get by Djokovic right now, relatively unchallenged. Or is that Tess just holding back? You don't want to be in the dirty air just sitting behind on this game, though. It's going to damage your tyres a lot. We're only at lap 4 out of 29. A lot of things are going to happen in this race, let me tell you that. How's Recon get along? 13th place ahead of his teammate Samobamo in 15th with Hybrid, 16th Darren, 17th. Wiggum, and teammate of the current race leader, currently going along in 9th, moving over very aggressively immediately to defend the inside from Luna. Might have a go at it here. It's not a heavy braking zone. Need to establish a bigger advantage than that if you want to be able to make a move. So here we go then, Tess now within 4/10 of a second of Djokovic, and now is the time maybe that he can get a move going. Just struggling a bit out of that final corner, and that allows Djokovic to pull away by about a 10th and a half. But now then, how much is Tess going to deploy, and is he going to send one down the inside? He's got the run on him, makes slight contact with the right rear of Djokovic and backs out of it. Tess not quite brave enough on the brakes, but now he's got the run on him. Djokovic covers the inside, but it's not going to matter on this occasion. Tess takes the lead of the Grand Prix on lap 5 out of 29, and Djokovic now has to defend away from Squidge. He gets a bit squammy on the exit. That is a good move that from Tez, just backing out to a point where he can get the move done and then punches away. 7/10 of a second now is the gap, and Joker will be pressed to stick with him now. Lose the DRS advantage, could see Tess disappearing down the road. As for Squidge, this strategy battle is going to be very, very intriguing towards the end, let me tell you that. Having a look at that strategy battle at the moment, as you can see, there are a lot of people on the mediums, a couple of outliers, both the Ferraris on the hards, and Iwat's on the soft as well. That would explain his very, very good opening lap. A couple of people have made their pit stops, just Matty and Kit at the moment. They're running in last and second last, unsurprisingly. As here we go then, Jamar without DRS now on the back of Iwat. Unfortunately for him, that's going to leave him slightly vulnerable to Wigan. Let's see how quick that other Williams is in straight line. We've established that Djokovic's quite rapid in straight line. Oh, because he's having to go with the race lead potentially within 4/10 of a second there briefly. That's just letting Tess know that you can't leave Djokovic within DRS. Going to be quick, and that's also a good indicator to Squidge that as long as Djokovic remains in DRS, you're not getting past that Williams. Very, very quick car in a straight line of Djokovic. But now almost, yeah, there goes the 1 second gap, and Djokovic needs to bring that down if he wants a chance to stay with now, because I do believe Tess has the pace advantage here in the opening phase. So Wigan getting closer to Jamar's. Hard tyres should start switching on now. If you've taken care of them, that's the main thing. You can't have these moments coming out of corners just spinning up the rears. That'll take them away rather quickly, as Wigan just demonstrated for us there. Those little moments of wheel spin really do wear down your tyres on this game. That is going to invite Luna into the conversation. Jamar now on the back of an Iwatts that should start to struggle on those soft tyres quite soon. So expect to see some early pit stops from Iwatts, Holman, Recon and Samo, you would imagine. Early pit stop as well. So then Jamar coming around the final corner then. How good's the Ferrari in the straight line? We'll see. It's almost a little bit of a fake into the pit lane there from Iwatts, moving straight back onto the racing line. Jamar then goes to the inside. Oh, he's not leaving Iwatts too much room there, but it's a good overtake. Jamar just forcing Iwatts towards the outside as much as he could. Punches away. Now Iwatts coming back at him on the second straight. He's not quite going to have enough to make it through. Going to try the little over and under then, and it might just work. Jamar has to almost avoid the Mercedes then, not realizing he was going to have another go at him, but Jamar is nice and safely through and up at P7 now. 4 seconds behind him. Reina needs to start bringing that gap down quite rapidly. 4 seconds indeed. It's a big gap forged this early on in the race. As we are following Noah 48 at the moment. Is that a very calm race so far? Both those Racing Bulls have just held formation behind Tess, Djokovic and Squidge as well. Not really been involved in it, but never under pressure from Reino coming up behind as well. So we'll see. Those Racing Bulls tyres might be in a very, very good condition in a couple of laps to start attacking if they've played the strategic game here. Iwatts might now be left a bit vulnerable to Wigan as well, depending on his exit, but you should start seeing the Mercedes into the pit lane a lap or two. Not on lap 8 though. So we'll see DRS at the moment to drag him along. As Holman then pulls the trigger on his soft tyres. 7 laps was all they were good for before you come into box. Instead of medium tyres going on the Aston Martin. Medium tyres on for Holman. Matty Adam, meanwhile, 14 seconds behind Darren Style. He's not having a good race at the moment, Matty. Unless at a hard, he's just going to try to go long, extend distance as much as possible, and potentially hope for a safety car here as well. As for leaders, Tess is keeping Djokovic at a bit of a distance. Djokovic ever looming. But this is a situation Tess would much rather be in, you would imagine. Just able to control the race a bit more, doesn't need to spin up its tyres, just able to take it one corner at a time. While still facing a bit of pressure from behind, of course. What's now dangerously close to losing DRS on J-Mar's just gonna be, he's just gonna miss out on that potentially. That'll be interesting now to see if he gets left exposed to Wigan. Watts, as soon as he loses, ducks into the pit lane. That's actually a perfectly executed stint from Watts there. A lot of positions up, then as soon as you might be on the back foot, you go into the pit lane as soon as the tyres start going away as well. Perfect first stint from Watts, and I'll be happy with that. New set of soft tyres going on. That Mercedes aggressive. This from Watts. It's what we love to see. Darren Style becomes the first one this season to be claimed by a 10-second time penalty for speeding into the pit lane. And Watts, crucially for him as well, covers off Holman, is 2.5 seconds behind. Another lap or two and he would have been behind the Aston Martin. Critical for him to get out ahead. J-Mark 7.3 seconds behind Ondrzejczyk now, with Noah having made his pit stop on a set of mediums to go into another set of mediums. Okay, so it's a short stint that from Noah 48 out front. Now though, he's putting in the undercut pressure potentially ahead on Tess and Djokovic. If he can go quickly now, he's relatively uninterrupted by traffic ahead. 7 seconds up, that might actually put pressure on the leaders to pit. So we'll see. Tess and Djokovic, how worried are they by the combination of Noah and Ondrzejczyk at the moment? They're able to play a team game whilst no one else can. None of them budging, but Ondrzejczyk is coming in as well. 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and it's so unnecessary, but it is so easy to do. But that is Ondrzejczyk's race well and truly ruined. As Djokovic then has a little go at Tess, gets a massive tank slap on, and that's going to invite Squidge into this conversation. Let me tell you that you don't need to give him more than one opportunity to get this done. But he doesn't quite. Doesn't have the straight line speed, but Djokovic just outbreaks himself a little bit, and that is going to be Squidge up into P2. And now are those hard tyres going to start working a bit better? We'll wait and see. Remember as well, the undercut threat from behind. Noah, now realistically, if he gets close to the back of Ondrzejczyk, needs to be let by. We'll wait and see how this ensues. Ondrzejczyk needs to get on with it now. 10-second time penalty will be served in his next pit stop. Djokovic, I believe, has picked up a penalty as well. You would imagine 3-second time penalty. Yeah. 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit infractions. We'll go back to the interval. Some rain now very, very close to the back of Noah now, who's been left without DRS protection by his teammates. That could be a bit of an issue for the Racing Bull. But it's relatively calm at this stage of the Grand Prix. Matty has fallen a lot behind though on his opening stint. 8 lap old hards he's currently on. He'll have to stop one more time. You'd imagine maybe for a second set of hards if he could. And now Djokovic and Tess comes into pit then. Now is the question, what are going on both these cars? Mediums for Djokovic. You would imagine maybe mediums for Tess as well. Yeah, indeed. And where are they coming out in comparison to the RBs? Djokovic might be in a bit of trouble here on the brakes. He's just going to be able to get out ahead. But that was close. Ondrzejczyk right on the back of Tess. And that's so silly getting that penalty because Ondrzejczyk's going to be past Tess here. Maybe from the outside. Tess just pushes him a bit wide on entry, a bit wide on exit. Shows him the door. Ondrzejczyk still there. Oh, the slight contact between the two NEF1 champions. One-time champions, both of them. Ondrzejczyk still there. He's going to tuck into the inside, maybe on the exit of turn 8. Now he has to surrender that. Ondrejek with that 10-second time penalty is going to be regretting that now, because he's right on the back of the reigning champion. DRS enabled now, and this battle's going to go on for a little bit of time. And meanwhile, this is helping out his teammate as well, so Ondrejek is going to enjoy now maybe just trying to be as annoying as possible to the race leader. Meanwhile, Squidge is out there. He's going to be massively undercut by these guys, but he'll be on a different strategy towards VN. More aggressive, hard tires at the moment. He'll be praying for a safety car, but we've had no sign of an incident so far out. Jamar as well, running in second, with Luna in third, coming into the pit lane now. Mr. Wilco staying out there for one more go at this. Here we go, an Ondrejek versus Tess, and this should, by the look of things, be pretty standard. Ondrejek swooping by with the aid of some DRS, and he's going to get DRS from Mr. Wilco to defend from Tess now as well. And this is going to be music to Squidge here, if they just slow each other down a little bit. But now Ondrejek moves ahead of Mr. Wilco. Mr. Wilco running very wide. I don't know if he's actually let Tess go over, and not really fancying that little battle, which could have only cost him time, but he went out of his way to let someone go over. It's a bit strange, especially when you're not obliged to. So then Ondrejek and Tess still going at it. Djokovic is out of this race. Terminal damage, heavy damage, safety car deployed. That's worked perfectly for Squidge and Jamin. Let me tell you, they'll be double stacking immediately. But Djokovic has lost it coming out of turn 9. It's violent contact with the wall, and it is a full safety car deployed immediately. The pole sitter out then of this race. Jamar, drive-through penalty, speeding under the safety car. He got caught out. Ondrejek, though, is going to be able to serve his penalty with a bit of leniency now, and surely he's got to take that opportunity. Come out about ahead of Iowa. Squidge now jumps into the pit lane. First opportunity, medium tires goes on. Tess is going to be fuming with this safety car, let me tell you that, because Squidge now has the lead of the race, potentially, unless they're allowed to race the line. Oh, and this is going to be close. Is it going to be Tess? Is it going to be Squidge? Tess is just going to cover him off. And it's a good thing that didn't happen a lap earlier, because then Squidge would have been lead of the Grand Prix now. They're on equal tyres, but Tess having to go on a slower tyre towards VN, unless he can extend this to medium, soft, which might be viable. We'll wait and see. Ondrejek then, he's going to be quite far down, but on a set of hard tyres that's going to take him to the end potentially. That's a good strategy from Ondrejek. Matt is going to be enjoying that safety car as well, but he's not coming to pit lane. Come into the pit lane, sorry. It's on 11 lap old hards, but it's brought him back into play. Wigan now, the sole driver remaining for the Williams team in this race. And Djokovic at a place where he's had such good results previously, just a bit of a mistake, goes into the wall coming out of 9. Coming out of 10, sorry. That is race over for the championship hopeful. So then now, safety car for a couple of laps. Ondrejek served his penalty now, and that's going to be quite good for a couple of other people as well. Jamar with drive-through penalty that'll have to serve after the safety car's ended. Just give me a moment real quick. There we go. So Jamar, drive-through penalty, he'll be out of the points and plumb loss by the time this safety car ends, so that's unfortunate for Jamar. Just speeding under the safety car, trying to go a little bit quicker than allowed. Doesn't really pay off, but it is quite hard to time that to perfection as well. Squidge will be kicking himself that he wasn't able to get just a nose ahead of the Mercedes, but the safety car came out at a good time for him indeed. Now it's going to be interesting to see. Squidge has done his 2 pit stops, so has Squidge has done his 1 pit stop, needed as per the regulations, but half the race to go. It's been instead of hard tires, now mediums though, so they won't last till the end of the race. Now though, is the question, can he drag these on to about lap 21 and maybe go soft to the end, and can Tess do the same? Tess will be forced to go either hard or soft next stop. Squidge can go with another set of mediums. Watts really should have pitted maybe coming onto that safety car, getting rid of softs, going on to a set of hards. 15 laps remaining, they should make it. Matty stayed out, which is a bit curious to me. So obviously those hard tires must be feeling relatively good. Hopefully we'll go racing at the end of this lap, we'll wait and see. Everyone's lined up quite nicely as we're going on board with Recon Van. Difficult quality, and at the moment a difficult race as well, sitting in 15th, but all to play for now with race neutralization on lap 13. The safety car came out on lap 12. The safety car is out for one more lap, and it's the first safety car of this season. I might be a bit surprised as well by the fact that Tess didn't go into the pit lane there to maybe slap on a set of hard tyres and try to go to the end. Yeah, they'll be worn down, but I don't think you lose the about 21 seconds doing it that you do for a pit stop. There's around a 22-second loss here, I believe. So it could have been beneficial for Tess to actually pit under this safety car, slap on a set of hards and go to the end. Nah. As we are looking then towards the start of the race once again, the hybrid gets a 10-second time penalty for a collision with Darren Style on the safety car. It's weird, especially seeing how hybrid's 15th and Darren's 18th. Sure, that will be investigated after the race, but still waiting for the lights to come off that safety car. Hopefully they should be doing so in any moment now. Still no lights off message. Yes, there we go. The safety car is coming in this lap then. So, Tess now going to be controlling this safety car restart. Got to maintain a constant speed throughout, and then when the safety car is in the pit lane, he is free to go to restart this race. But he's not going to have too many options as to where he decides to do that. So here we go then, rounds the final corner. When does he decide to go? Squidge right on the back of that Mercedes. And Tess is going to leave this relatively late. When does he go? There we go, but it's a lot of wheel spin on the getaway, and it's a decent pull away as well for Squidge, who tries to stick with him as much as he can, but it's going to be hard. Maybe around the outside, better tires. Tess putting the squeeze on around the outside, leaving a car's whip. There's chaos on the inside as well. Just heard cars colliding, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Darren into the pit lane. Wigan freezing a time penalty for corner cutting, and stuff is kicking off now for Squidge. Just remaining behind his, well, what would you imagine, championship rival, maybe by the look of things, Tess. Noah in P3, just holding down the fort for Racing Bulls at the moment. His teammate is down into 11th. Someone's had a shocker of a restart. That's Holman down into 17th, and Wiggins had a shocker as well, 16th place. But the two leaders now pulling away quite a bit from Noah here in the restart as well. Jamar in a peculiar situation. Him too. Iwat's now doing everything he can to have a little go at Jamar. 7 lap old soft tires. Those will be about 4 laps old in racing laps. And right now Squidge not sticking with the pace of Tess here. 7 tenths is the gap. DRS will be enabled at the end of this lap. And the battle for the lead is on. And Noah doesn't have the tyres at the moment, doesn't have the pace to stick with these two. 2.5 seconds down after a lap. Tess, fastest lap of the Grand Prix on a restart, says a lot. Oh, and it's a massive lock-up that from Tess, and that's quite an advantage for the PC guys, being able to turn particles off and being uninterrupted by that smoke. As for everyone running platform, they will not be able to, and Jamar and I are going to be feeling the effect of that. So is Mr. Wilco, and well, every platform user is going to be feeling the effects of that smoke on this game. Here we go then, Squidge 4 tenths behind Tess for the lead of the Grand Prix. Iwat's doing everything he can to keep Matty behind him. Matty's actually had a very, very good restart on a worn set of hard tyres. Kudos to him. Samo freezing time penalty, multiple warnings for track limits. As Ondercheck is having a go at Luna to get further into the top 10. I think he might just be successful with that. Oh no, that is front wing emplet gone for Ondercheck. Tries to be too optimistic into turn 10. Doesn't work. Emplet gone. Back into the pit lane. This race has gone from bad to worse for Ondercheck now, who got a bit too greedy maybe, or was just caught out by how slowly the guys ahead of him were going. Ondercheck then, is it going to be able to pull through with that front wing damage? It was quite substantial, but we'll wait and see. New for this season as well is that the damage rate has been increased as advertised in league rules previously. Well, that's aggressive from Tess there. That's very aggressive. Moving back and forwards off the racing line to try to get Squidge out of the slipstream. Ondercheck then staying out by the look of things. Yeah. The Racing Bull still out there. 2 cars going wide ahead of him. That's Emrena and Mr. Wilco, and that's going to give Ondercheck a golden opportunity to maybe have a go at both of them. Gets a brilliant exit. Now he's going to be a bit quicker in a straight line because of it. 3 wide into turn 4. Who's coming out ahead? The car with half a front wing runs wide on the exit, and Mr. Wilco remains in 6th place. Matty, meanwhile, is enjoying himself in 5th with very, very worn hard tyres. Now is the question, does Matty maybe start thinking about a pit stop and maybe have a go at an undercut of the guys in front of him? He'd be running in clean air. It's risking a safety car, but it's a shout for Matty getting rid of those hard tyres now. It's going to be costing him time. Slapping on a new set of boots and trying to go to the end. 11 lap on a set of medium tyres, definitely doable. As Squidge and Tess at the moment in a class of their own. Mr. Wilco, Emrena and Ondercheck still at it. Fastest lap of this race from Squidge, who's now very much getting closer to the back of the champion. Goes to the outside, sticks well and truly with him. Round the outside, Tess gets it just a bit wrong. Places the foot down a bit too hard, and now here comes Squidge to the outside. He's going to be forced to the entry of turn 4. Gonna try to tuck it into the inside, but it's not gonna work. Stern defense that from Tess, who keeps the lead of the race with 10 laps to go now. Meanwhile, this battle is ongoing, and Matty has come into the pit lane for a new set of medium tyres. Is that going to force the hand of these leaders to just respond to it? We'll wait and see. There's a McLaren off in turn 4, and I believe that is a BT, if I'm not mistaken. Now that's a BT off with a problem just ahead of Jamers. Now sad the drive-through time penalty as well, or is drive-through penalty is not a time penalty if it's a drive-through, Savas. Get your stuff together. So Mr. Wilco and Emrena are going to be able to go to the end, potentially. Yeah, they should be able to go to the end of those tyres. That's a good position to be in. If you're Mr. Wilco and Bahrain, that's a good position if you're under check as well. Is Squidge maybe just going to be forced to try to hang it out? Test tyres has a couple of more racing laps on them. They'll be fresher as running in clean air. We'll wait and see. It's a lot of ground to make up if they do pit. As here we go then, Squidge to the inside of Tess. Just tucks in behind the Mercedes once again. Squidge almost looked quite content sitting behind the Mercedes right now. Tess very aggressively to the inside every single time, but now here we go. Squidge significantly further ahead. The two go side by side for the first time this season, and here we go. If this is a shout of the championship battle, I'm all for it. Tess round the outside of Squidge, holds it into turn 8, and that's a good stern defense. Meanwhile, it's costing them time, but they're 8 seconds ahead of Noah since the restart. And Bahrain, a 3-second time penalty. That's not a penalty you want to get in this stage of the Grand Prix. Mr. Wilco is actually in prime position right now to nab a podium from this race. He is running brilliantly right now. Undercheck in a good situation as well. 4/10 of a second separate the leaders of this Grand Prix. What is Matty Adam doing at the moment? Going through sector 2, and he's going along relatively nicely on those medium tires, you would imagine, catching the back of Jamar by a little bit every corner. Undercheck then trying to just stick with the back of Emreina and Wilco. He's doing a job without half a front wing, let me tell you. Without that contact, he would be up there in contention for a really, really good result today. Here we go then, Squidge to the inside of Tess. This time, it's a no contest. Squidge tucks to the inside. Tess has a look, maybe, to try to nab at him on the braking. But Squidge takes the lead of the Grand Prix and gets a bit better of an exit, coming out of 2 and 3 as well. Tess not going to be able to fight that one. And now, let's see how the pace of Squidge is in clear air. Bit newer tyres on that car as well. Looks a bit harder to overtake on this game, which I quite like. We're able to pull the defense off a bit easier. Then again, these guys are going to be running quite similar setups to each other as well, just maximizing that performance, and that means you don't have the car optimally set up to race. Is why they were so incredibly quick in qualifying, the both of them. It's not a car designed to be quick in a straight line, as we saw Tess's difficulties getting past Djokovic early on. Marina sitting behind Mr. Wilco. Smartest thing for Marina now is just follow Wilco for a little bit of time and see what goes on. Undercheck in P6, just playing this one nicely as well. Samo in 7th. Definitely is an interesting race right now with 8 laps to go. If pit stops are coming for leaders, they should be coming soon. Lap 22 out of 29. They'd be going on a very, very short stint on a soft, as no one now is forced to. 13 laps is what those medium tires could do. Squidge would have to extend that to 15 laps on his tires to make it to the end. Tess would be on 18 lap all mediums. That should not be doable. Noah's coming out behind Jamar, behind Matty potentially as well. But Noah's now going to be an undercut. Potentially an undercut threat to the guys ahead. He's just 8 seconds back. Oh, that's not the way to treat your tires there from Tess, just getting a bit squirmy on the exit of 10. Closing in, under braking with the aid of DRS as well on that back straight. That battle is going to go on until one of them makes a move. There's a situation now for Squidge and Tess where they don't really want to pit. Neither of them really can afford to pit right now, because they'll have a lot of traffic to navigate through on their last stint. But surely it's not possible one stopping this race. You're leaving yourself open to a massive pace loss in the last couple of laps. Here we go then, Tess versus Squidge, and this type of battling is battling away at the tyres as well, but they're not going to care at the moment. Oh, as Tess has a little love tap on the diffuser of Squidge. Looks towards the inside, but not going to make that move as of yet. Whilst they're pulling away from Mr. Wilco still on tyres, they should at this point be worse. Undertake 3-second time penalty, and this is something that might be worth considering for leaders as well. Those 3-second time penalties, as long as you get the win, doesn't matter if it's on track. The one problem right now they'll see is Mr. Wilco. Dunlap Old Hearts, he should be able to go to the end. Where's Martin on this? He's sitting in P10, so it's not been a race he would have been hoping for to open this season. But there's 7 laps to go. As Holman goes flying by Sam Obama around the DRS straight. Unusual place to overtake, but I'll allow it. As here we go, Tess is now very close to the back of Squidge once again for the lead of the Grand Prix, just losing a bit. And here we go, Tess comes into the pit lane on lap 23. Got to make very sure you get to the limiter. Now let's see where Tess comes out. This is going to be crucial. Soft tyres going on. Now Squidge, I think, should be able to try to push this to the end. We'll wait and see. His tyres have 2 laps less worth of racing on them than Tess's do. Tess is going to try something. I reckon now Squidge is going to try to pull this out to the end as well. And I struggle to see how Tess is going to be able to make up ground to Squidge if that's the case, unless Squidge makes a mistake. But here we go, and this is now going to be very interesting. Tess crucially makes it out ahead of Recon and Noah, but it wasn't really close in the end, was it? So here we go, he's got a lot of cars to pick off. Gap to the leader now is 21.6 seconds, so now already you would imagine he's undercut Squidge to a point where Squidge can't afford to make another pit stop. He'll be too far behind, and catching Tess is going to be next to impossible. Squidge now basically is locked in to one stopping this race, which is an, let's just say, uncomfortable situation. As for Wilco, right now, he's sitting in a prime position to take a podium away from this race as well. Even if he must let Tess go in a little bit of time, wait and see how long, Wilco might genuinely finish on the podium here. Holman could finish on the podium. Ondercheck's there as well. It's a lot of things that's going to be going on now in this last stage of the Grand Prix. So don't go anywhere, because this is just getting exciting. We have 4 laps to go. Tess on the soft tyres is going to have to navigate quite a bit of traffic. First in line is Sam Obama. We've seen Tess's car. He has the aid of the soft tyres, but his car is not necessarily brilliant in a straight line. Oh, but he's so good under braking. Would have almost been able to have a go at Sam Obama there, which means he's definitely going to have a go. I won't have to have a go into turn 4, because he'll already be well past on the exit. Okay, so Tess is making up ground. Next in line is Holman then, who's a second up the road. And Squidge now locked into one stopping this race, and right now 14 seconds down to the next car in line. Squidge might have just gotten a bit lucky with the safety car here, and the fact it stayed out for as long as it did, because he should be able to cruise this home now for another 4 laps. 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay, so 4.5 laps remaining, soon to be 4. With Tess past Holman now and 3 to chase after Onrajek. Gonna be interesting to see just how quick is Tess in comparison. You know what, he might genuinely be able to catch Squidge by the end of the last lap, and if he can, those tyres might be in just good enough shape to have a cheeky little go. That's how quickly Tess is going at the moment. 1:31.0 is the time set by Tess right now. He's catching by a lot of seconds every lap. Oh, but he massively locks up his race heading into turn 1, and that's going to cost him time and tyre wear as well. And it's things like that, just small things like that, that's going to chip away at you. There's a lot of squealing going on now with 3 laps to go. Squidge 14.7 ahead of Reina. Now we're starting to get to a point where it could be tricky for Tess unless Squidge makes a mistake, but he could be on his way to take the championship lead for the first time in NEF1 Squidge 2017, but a long way to go still. Mr. Wilco is doing everything right at the moment, just sitting behind Reina with those time penalties. Let's just have a look at those. 3 seconds for both Reina and Ondrejek. Tess will not care. He needs to get past all 3 of those cars, and he needs to do it realistically this lap. Might he have a go at Ondrejek into the last corner? No, needs to get a good run coming out of it then. But Ondrejek's gotten a decent run as well with DRS, and this just makes it a bit more difficult for Tess, who's pushing so incredibly hard. He's going to leave this late, but maybe just a bit of a bold move down the inside, and slight contact with Tess, who's just leaving himself no margin for error right now. Gonna be almost driving a bit angry maybe is Tess. Hybrid 3-second time penalty, multiple track limit warnings. Now next in line is Mr. Wilco, and we saw Wilco didn't put up a fight previously, but now he has the gap to Reina to think about. But he just moves off the line. What is Wilco doing? What is Wilco doing there? Exposing himself to to losing time to Reina and to Ondrejek like that. It's a stupid thing to do, and it's I'm gonna sound incredibly harsh now. The stupid unroutinated thing to do, and it shows that he's not used to racing up there. But at this stage, when you're battling for a podium, you cannot move out of the way like that. He had no reason to, and it cost him well over a second. So Mr. Wilco, that's a that is the type of things that lose you podiums and valuable points as well. Tess now with 1 car to go to get to Reina, or to get to Squidge, but then there's a massive deficit to make up, and he's not going to be able to do that unless Squidge makes some mistakes. We have 2 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen, and Squidge has a 14-second lead over Reina and Tess. Wilco coming up behind them. Ondrejek now as well. Holman in 6th, followed by Samo in 7th, Noah in 8th, Matty in 9th, and Recon in 10th. Last of the points finishes at the moment. We had Yellows in Sector 1. It's a Red Bull, sorry. Going slowly. That is Hybrid, I believe, on the back straight. It's not having the best of times, but Squidge is having the best of times right now. 2 laps to go, but his tyres are going to be screaming out for help right now. 1 stop in this race should not have been possible. It wouldn't have been possible unless for a safety car that came at a perfect time for Squidge then. Tess has made a brilliant last stint to come back to P2, and he's going to push this all the way through, I'm sure. Now then, it's the matter of the last podium position. Is it going to be Reina, Mr. Wilco, or Ondrejek to see this one out? 1 lap to go. Luna, 3-second time penalty for track limit warning. It's going to set her back a position or 2, but is not going to pay dividends in terms of points. She's running quite clear of them as things stand. Yellow flags as a Red Bull's had an issue. By the look of things, I would assume that's Kit perhaps. I don't know what's been going on. That's Hybrid, sorry. Who is, I don't know if he's serving blue flags, but he's given a 10-second time penalty for those track limit interpretations. And he's almost being a bit too generous with serving those blue flags. You don't have to go off circuit to do them. As Squidge now starts the final lap of the Grand Prix. Tess tried everything, but he just got unlucky today with the timing of the safety car. And Reina needs to bring out a couple of tenths of a second on Mr. Wilco over this last lap in order to get this done. Hybrids retired from this race in the pit lane, which will be an automatic penalty. 2.6 seconds now, and this is the type of routine I was talking about. Now, this would not have happened if Wilco had just left it a bit. And Reina is all good to push for a debut podium here. 3-second time penalty with 3.1 on the clock. Squidge then has done everything right tonight. He has placed his car beautifully. He got it done in qualifying. Got a bit lucky with tests being held up. Got a bit lucky again with the Grand Prix. But that's the type of luck you need to win championship. And it's been a good race from him. Not put a foot wrong. He's gone for the moves at the right time. Just celebrating already. Coming out of the last corner. That's a bit premature, buddy. Now, Squidge 2017 for the first time leads the championship. He takes the checkered flag in Bahrain to win the first round of Season 10. Tess is going to come through. It's a valiant effort that sees him in P2. He'll be a bit frustrated with that, but it comes through in the end. And Reina finishes in P3, gets demoted to P4 by Mr. Wilco, who takes his first podium in NEF1, and with that result, I believe, outscores his entirety of last season as well. He just got in there by a tenth of a second. Massive congratulations to Mr. Wilco on the podium. Brilliant job, buddy. And Reina with a very good P4. The penalty cost in the end. Holman, good debut in 5th. It's a good day for the rookies. Ondrzejczyk in 6th, did everything he could with the front wing damage. And Noah in 7th. Tough day for Alpine in 8th and 9th. They'll be hoping for more, and Iwat rounds out the top 10 points finishers with a point there in P10. Recon just outside, Wigan just outside, along with Jamar Luna, a BT Kit in 16th, just coming across the line now, and Darren in 17th. Difficult race for him, but it is the start of a brand new season. But what a race between Mr. Wilco and Reina there at the end as well. Would have been sweat mode for the pair of them, just coming into the last couple of laps. Squidge, if you're listening to this as well, I'd love to have you on for a bit of a winners interview. If you're listening, if you're able, obviously if you're not prepared, we'll get it done another time. But it's a massive result. This for Squidge, takes the lead of the standings for the first time in his NEF1 career. Tess, brilliant result for P2 as well, but he'll be disappointed with that, with maybe the win being snatched away from him by a bit of an unlucky situation with the safety car there. Also, one of the drivers of the day got to be Mr. Wilco. Brilliant result. First podium of his career. I'm sure it'll be the first of many to come with a race like that. We'll be awaiting words for Squidge after this race as well, so don't go anywhere. We've got a driver's interview coming up. So if you just stay tuned, we're going to be working on getting Squidge into the party real quick. So I should still be audible as well. It's the first time we're trying this. But it should be audible nonetheless. So we'll wait and see if we can get Squidge in for a bit of an interview here. At the end of what was a brilliant first race of the season. As here we go then. Squidge 2017 in the party, left the party again, unfortunately. We'll see if we can get him back. There we go, join the party, see if he gets that magic checkbox, and we'll be good to go.
Hello.
If not, we have a problem. So then I assume checkbox and everything is in order. Squidge 2017, championship leader after round 1. That's got to feel pretty good, doesn't it?
It feels very good, mate. It hopefully brings a strong feeling for the rest of the season. Good points for Ferrari as well. I'm lucky for Jamar today. Obviously with that drive through under the safety car, I know it's very easy to do on this year's game, especially.
Yeah, it was a mega race for you. Obviously, a bit unfortunate about your team. It wasn't able to get a better result, but that is the way of this league now. How incredibly competitive it is at the front, which I'm sure you experienced throughout the race. But just gotta ask you about that second stint. When Tess pulled into the pit lane, did you know you had the race win secured, or was there a bit iffy if you was to follow him the lap after and potentially try to do the same?
I knew pretty much instantly when I saw Tez didn't box under the safety car that I'd be able to stretch the tyres long enough. My plan was to always do the one stop, starting on the hards. I've been testing and testing and testing loads of different strategies this week because I've had the time to, and I knew that strategy was the quickest strategy because it's difficult to gain that time back. So I knew when it came to the safety car, I could put minimal wear on the tyres, so I'd only have to stretch it by 1 or 2 laps more from what I was supposed to be doing. So yeah, that is. I was pretty happy with that to be able to get the win and stretch them that far. They were getting a bit sketchy though at the end there though.
Yeah, it was a very, very good performance throughout. Obviously, a bit of side-by-side racing with Tess now as well. You didn't have too much of it. Any battles like that last season? They ended a bit earlier. It feels like there's a bit more opportunity to maybe defend and actually go side by side on this game. Just how did you feel going side by side through so many corners as you actually did with Tess this time around?
Yeah, I mean, me and Tez, I've practiced together before and we've gone side by side through there. So we know how we race each other through that area. We know the respect, but obviously it's racing at the end of the day. We are super competitive. We don't want to give either of us an inch. So I knew I wanted to get past him just to have some free air, but at the same time, I was like, if he just wants to hold the position, he can hold the position because I knew he had to box again because he started on the mediums and then went onto the mediums again. So it isn't just my
Oh yeah.
game plan to just stay within his DRS because then it would have even more of a struggle to try and catch back up.
Yeah, indeed. A bit unlucky there for the Switch strategy, but that's the risk of doing a double stint on the same tire at the beginning, going medium to medium like that. So then, looking ahead to Saudi Arabia next week, obviously very different circuit as Bahrain, very, very fast, very flowing, low downforce track really on this game if you want to be competitive as well. If you want to have a car that's raceable, just how do you think you're going to be able to transform the pace from Bahrain that you obviously had into Saudi Arabia, which is a completely different beast?
I think it's quite easy to do. Like if once you get the speed like at what I'm at and all these other quick drivers I know I think Matty would be disappointed today because he was really strong in practice. Um I think it won't be difficult for the top guys all to shove that pace over there. I believe there could be a couple more surprises, like obviously Wilco today. That was nice to see, and it's always nice to see rookies do well as well. So I'm looking forward to this season. I think it's going to be a good championship fight, but I hope I come out on top.
Indeed. Well, you certainly place yourself in pole position to do so. Congratulations once again, Squidge 2017, and best of luck to you on to the next one. Saudi Arabia then coming up this Monday. We will see you then.
Indeed, we will.
Yeah, so thank you very much to Squidge for joining us there in that interview. First time doing those in quite a while. It is always fun getting the race winners' perspective. We'll try to get those going throughout the season. First time Squidge 2017 in a Drivers' Championship lead, then heading in Saudi Arabia next week. Absolutely belt of a race this time out. First race for season 10. So don't miss out. We'll be back 9 p.m. sharp next week out on Monday for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. One of the staples now on the NEF1 calendar. So don't go anywhere. We'll be with you in 7 days' time for one race that I can promise you is going to be a highlight of the season. Until then, stay safe, everyone. Have a good one. And peace out.